Hey you! Yeah, you, scrolling through YouTube looking for something real, something that'll shake you up and make you think. What if I told you there's a philosopher from the 19th century whose ideas about women are so raw, so unfiltered, that they'd get him cancelled faster than a bad tweet today? His name? Arthur Schopenhauer. And his thoughts? They're like a punch to the gut, dark, controversial, and maybe even a little dangerous. Stick with me, because in the next 30 minutes, we're diving deep into Schopenhauer's philosophy, his infamous essay on women, and why his ideas are still sparking heated debates today. This isn't just another video, it's a journey into a truth they don't want you to hear. Ready? Let's go. Now, before we jump in, let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like the world's feeding you a script? Like there's a set of rules about what you're supposed to think, say, or even feel, especially when it comes to relationships, gender, or society? Schopenhauer didn't just question that script, he tore it up and wrote his own. But here's the thing. His ideas aren't for the faint of heart. They're bold, they're brutal, and they're bound to make you uncomfortable. So if you're ready to challenge everything you've been taught, keep watching. If not, well, maybe this isn't the video for you. Let's start with the man himself. Arthur Schopenhauer wasn't your typical philosopher sitting in an ivory tower sipping tea. Born in 1788 in Danzig, now Gdansk, Poland, this guy was a rebel with a cause. He was a pessimist, sure, but not the life's pointless, let's all cry kind of pessimist. No, Schopenhauer believed life was driven by this unstoppable force he called the will, a blind, irrational urge that pushes us to survive, reproduce, and chase desires we can never fully satisfy. Sound familiar? It's like that itch you can't scratch, that craving for something more. Schopenhauer's big idea was that the world we see, people, relationships, society, is just a shadow of this deeper reality. He was influenced by Eastern philosophy, like Buddhism and Hinduism, and he wasn't afraid to call out the fluff in Western thought. But what made him really stand out? His willingness to say things others wouldn't dare. And nowhere is that clearer than in his essay on women, published in 1851 as part of his book Parerga and Paralipomena. This is where things get spicy. So what did Schopenhauer say about women that's got people clutching their pearls even today? Let's break it down. In On Women, Schopenhauer argues that women are fundamentally different from men, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. He says women are naturally suited for nurturing and domestic roles, while men are built for intellectual pursuits and leadership. He goes as far as calling women the sexus sequia, the lesser sex, and claims they lack the depth for true genius or moral reasoning. Now, before you smash that dislike button, hear me out. Schopenhauer wasn't just throwing shade for clicks. He was trying to explain what he saw as the natural order of things, based on his observations of biology, society, and human behavior. He argued that women's primary role is tied to reproduction and raising children, which he saw as the ultimate expression of the will. Men, on the other hand, were driven to compete, create, and conquer. Harsh? Yeah. Outdated? Maybe. But let's not pretend these ideas don't still echo in some corners of the world. Here's where it gets juicy. Schopenhauer didn't stop at biology. He doubled down, saying women are more prone to superficiality, jealousy, and deceit. He even claimed they're less capable of abstract thought or appreciating art on a profound level. Ouch, I can already hear the comments section lighting up. But hold on, there's more. He also said women are better at manipulating emotions, which he saw as a survival tactic in a world dominated by men. It's like he's saying women play the game differently, but they still play to win. Okay, let's pause and unpack why this essay is such a lightning rod. First off, Schopenhauer wasn't writing in a vacuum. The 19th century was a Man's world. Women couldn't vote, own property in many places, or even dream of higher education. So was Schopenhauer just a product of his time, or was he deliberately stirring the pot? A bit of both, if you ask me. He loved to provoke, to challenge the status quo, even if it meant ruffling feathers. But here's the kicker. Schopenhauer's views weren't unique. Philosophers like Aristotle and Kant had similar takes on women's roles. What makes Schopenhauer stand out is his bluntness. He didn't sugarcoat it, and that raw honesty is what makes his work so polarizing. Some read On Women and see a misogynistic rant. Others see a philosopher grappling with the messy realities of human nature. So, which is it? Let's dig deeper. To understand Schopenhauer's take, we need to zoom out and look at his broader philosophy. Remember the will, that primal force driving everything? For Schopenhauer, men and women are just different expressions of that will. Men, he argued, channel it into ambition, art and ideas. Women channel it into family relationships and survival of the species. It's not that one's better than the other, it's that they're wired for different purposes. Now let's be real, this sounds like a fancy way of justifying stereotypes. But Schopenhauer wasn't just making stuff up. He looked at the world around him, where men dominated politics, science, and culture, and concluded that biology shaped destiny. He saw women's physical differences, like their role in childbirth, as proof of a deeper divide. Today, we'd call this biological determinism, and it's a hotly debated topic. Does our biology dictate who we are, or is society the real puppet? Master, fast forward to 2025, and Schopenhauer's ideas feel like a time capsule from a world we barely recognize. Women are CEOs, scientists, presidents, shattering glass ceilings left and right. So, does Schopenhauer's essay hold any water today, or is it just a relic of a sexist past? Let's break it down. On one hand, critics argue Schopenhauer's views are laughably outdated. Modern science shows men and women's brains are more similar than different. Studies on emotional intelligence suggest women often outperform men in empathy and social skills. And let's not forget the countless women who've proved they can match or surpass men in any field. Think Marie Curie, Ada Lovelace, or Kamala Harris. On the other hand, some folks, especially in certain online spaces, still vibe with Schopenhauer's ideas. They point to evolutionary psychology, claiming men and women evolved distinct traits for survival. They argue that differences in behavior, like men's risk-taking or women's nurturing instincts, aren't just cultural, they're hardwired. These debates rage on X, in forums, and even at family dinners. Ever been in one of those arguments where both sides dig in and nobody budges? Yeah, that's Schopenhauer's legacy. Here's where we hit the climax, the dark truth Schopenhauer wanted us to face. His essay isn't just about women, it's about human nature. He's saying we're all slaves to the will, whether we're chasing love, power, or meaning. Men, women, it doesn't matter. We're all caught in this cosmic tug-of-war between our instincts and our ideals. Schopenhauer's real point isn't that women are inferior, it's that we're all flawed, all driven by forces we can't control. Think about it. Why do we fight over gender roles? Why do we get so heated about who's better at what? Because deep down, we're scared Schopenhauer might be right, that we're not as free as we think, that maybe, just maybe, our biology, our desires, our will is calling the shots. That's the truth they don't want you to hear. Not because it's about women, but because it's about all of us. So why should you care about a grumpy old philosopher from 200 years ago? Because his ideas force us to ask tough questions. Are we really equal, or are we just pretending? Do differences between men and women matter, or are they just noise? And most importantly, are we in control of our lives, or are we just pawns in a bigger game? Schopenhauer's work is a mirror. It shows us our biases, our fears, and our truths. Whether you agree with him or think he's full of it, you can't deny he makes you think. And in a world where we're bombarded with hot takes and clickbait, that's rare. This video isn't about telling you what to believe. It's about sparking that fire in your brain, that urge to question everything. As we wrap up, let me leave you with this. Schopenhauer wasn't perfect. He was a man of his time, with all the baggage that comes with it. But he was also a genius who dared to say the unsayable. His essay on women isn't a manifesto to live by. It's a challenge to think for yourself, to look at the world, at men, at women, at yourself, and ask, what's really going on here? So next time you're scrolling X or arguing with your buddy about gender roles, think about Schopenhauer, think about the will, and think about whether you're writing your own script or just reading someone else's. If this video got your gears turning, hit that like button. It helps more people find this kind of content. Drop a comment below. What do you think about Schopenhauer's ideas? Are they genius, garbage, or somewhere in between? And if you want to keep diving into ideas that challenge the status quo, subscribe and ring that bell. We've got plenty more where this came from. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.